Hi everybody and welcome to FabTax. I'm Rosemary and today I'd like to share part 3 of our Magnolia Modern Farmhouse inspired Dollar Tree DIY series. If you've not seen parts 1 or 2, you may want to check those out and I provide a link in the description box below. This is the last of our Magnolia inspired videos for this series before moving on to our next series on organization and decor for small spaces, including apartments, dorms, and senior living spaces. But please let us know in the comments below if you'd like to see another Magnolia-inspired series in the future. But before we get started, I'd like to again send a great big thank you to all of our subscribers and all the folks who have left such kind and encouraging comments on our videos and shared them with family, friends, and social media. The response has been overwhelming and we really appreciate it. We are a new channel and as most of you probably know, along with views and likes, the number of subscriptions, comments, and shares are a big part of how YouTube rates, ranks, and suggests your videos so your channel can grow. So thank you so much again. If you are new here, welcome and please consider subscribing. We would love to have you join the family. In today's video, I'll show you how I did these budget replicas of Magnolia pieces, including this hanging craft paper notepad. The original is brand new on magnolia.com and it's already sold out. Next, I'll show you how I made this coffee sign out of Dollar Tree straws. However, if you are interested in an original Magnolia piece, it is currently on sale at magnolia.com. Lastly, I'll show you how I did this super easy single wall sconce. The original of this item, by the way, also sold out on magnolia.com. To make the hanging notepad, I took this Dollar Tree wall hook and this is the one with 7 hooks, and I removed all of the middle hooks so that only the 2 end hooks were remaining. Then I took a pack of the Dollar Tree mouse traps. It's a little distant, but they have wood and they were perfect for this project. I then took pliers and removed all the little silver staples. There's actually 3 of the silver staples, and when you pull those out, all the other pieces just fall away. So it's real easy to do. And then I took the little plastic stickers on the front off. And then I got the pliers and just banged them onto the wood to distress the wood a little bit. 6,000, added it to the rail of leaving space in between where the little crossbars hit for some hot glue. And just put those in the dabs of hot glue in the crossbars. And then I took each of the pieces of wood, starting with the middle one because I wanted to line it up there with that middle piece and make sure that it was above where the screw needs to go into the hanger, and then put all the 4 pieces on the top of the wire hanger. I then did go in the back and get a couple of the craft sticks to reinforce the seams by hot gluing them across the back of the holder. For the pole, I used the handle to a Dollar Tree plunger, and for the finials, I used a couple of the Dollar Tree ping pong balls. To make the finial, I used a utility knife and cut across in the side of the ping pong ball. And then repeated that for a second ping pong ball, and then used that cutout to get scissors to cut out a hole. I then took these pieces as well as a package of the Dollar Tree magnetic clips and spray painted them with black metallic paint. The pieces were drying. I took a roll of the Dollar Tree craft paper and marked off a 12-inch piece of the roll. So measured down with a ruler 12 inches from the end of the roll, and then I left the extra plastic on to make it easier to cut it, and I took a saw and cut through the paper roll, rotating it as I went so that I could get a nice clean cut. So after a few coats of the spray paint and after all pieces were dry, I took some brown craft paint and just dabbed it and dry brushed it across to give an aged look. I did that to the pole, the finials, the holder, and the wood part of the holder, as well as the magnetic clips. I also added some of the yellow paint, as you see there, only because the original did have some kind of like natural wood or like a yellowish wood peeking through, but it turns out I think in this replica it was fine if I just used the brown paint alone. And there's the finished project. Now you will need to hang this in studs or with some drywall anchors. To make the coffee sign, I used this square dowel from Lowe's, and I did provide a link in the description box for the exact one that I used. And I measured the dowel for 25 inches, and then I did cut it with a saw from the Dollar Tree, but if you have a better means to cut it, I would suggest that, but it will do the trick if you do the Dollar Tree saw. And once that was cut, I went back with my ruler and measured off spaces on the dowel where I will be applying the lettering. So I marked off at the 1-inch mark, the 4-inch mark, the 5-inch mark, the 9-inch mark, and then the 12-inch mark. And then I reset the ruler at the 12-inch mark that I just made and put another mark at the now second set of 1-inch mark, another one at a 5-inch on the second set, and then the last one on the second set at 9 inches. And this is going to be where we apply the screws that are going to hold the lettering. So these are 2-inch screws, except for the second spot on the dowel, which gets a 1-inch screw. The letters, I started with the letter F, and I took a full straw to make the vertical line. And then I took a second straw and marked that at 3 inches and cut that down to make the first horizontal line of the F. And then I took that piece and cut it down to 2.5 inches to make the second horizontal line on the F. I then used hot glue to glue the pieces together, and you will have to hold these pieces in place for 40 to 60 seconds, depending on which glue you're using, to wait for that glue to dry. And to ensure that the letters lined up evenly, I took the second F's vertical straw and marked where that horizontal piece would come in, and then just glued that accordingly, and then repeated the process for the E's as well. To attach my letters to the dowel, I again started with the F's, and I started with that number 9 spot. As you can see, I have numbered the spots that how they were on the ruler, and the 12 spot was just used in order to reset the ruler, so there's no screw that goes there. It was just left blank. But the first F is going to be there at that 9 spot, and I'm going to apply that using some of this Dollar Tree caulk. So I just go ahead and applied the caulk, and then I just used my finger to smush it into all those little crevices on the screw, and then inserted the straw and cleaned it up a little bit, and then repeated the process for the other F and the other 2 E's. To make the O, I again applied some caulk to the screws, and then took 2 of the straws and just inserted them right on the dowel, just like that. I'm going to build the C and the O right on the dowel. Again, for the C, put some of the caulk on and put a full-size straw on the first slot, and then on the second one I measured a piece of 1.5 inches and put that on that spot there, that second spot. the C, I measured the straw right on the piece and then just cut it and hot glued it in place. Did the same for the upper piece and finished it off with a 1.5 inch piece of straw at the top. You did the same thing for the O, measuring it in place and then just touching it right on the dowel. And then finish off the top of the O and then taking the entire piece for a couple coats of the black metallic spray paint. And when it was finished, this is what it looked like. The next DIY is really easy. I took this metal brace and a PVC plug from Lowe's, and both of them together were less than like $1.50. And then I took a pliers and just bent the bottom part of that brace around to make like a scoop shape, and then took the very tip and with another pliers just bent the very edge over and kind of hammered it down to create a little shelf for the PVC plug to sit on. And then I took some E6000 glue and just glued the two together. Once that glue was dry, I proceeded to paint the white PVC pipe with some of the metallic silver paint, just so that it would match the other piece of the holder. And then once everything was dry, I added a emergency candle from the Dollar Tree, and that's the finished product. Now these I would not light because they're open flame, plus they sit way too close to the wall, so just for decoration, or if you wanted to use a battery operated one. I hope you've enjoyed part 3 of our Magnolia inspired Dollar Tree DIY series. If you enjoyed the videos, please like and share. Also, please let us know which one was your favorite in the comments below, as well as any other comments or suggestions you might have. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.